Hello everyone and welcome to day 19 of the July Colouring Challenge. So we have just filmed day 18. As I said at the end, I'm trying to catch up and that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to jump straight into the number 19, which is a lovely jug of juice, very, very summery. And I have a reference photo here of some apricot juice in a glass. So what I'm going to do is, seeing as we have our Ohuhu markers out, I'm going to do a base layer with our Ohuhu and then do some pencil on top. So I have the Y1, which is pastel yellow, and it really isn't a pastel yellow, it's very deep sort of marigold yellow, but it'll do. So I'm going to colour the juice. It seems like a very, very thick glass jug to me. This really should have been a bit thinner, but hey ho. So we've got our base layer down. Then I'm going to jump in with some pencil. Now I've got my Arteza pencils next to me, Arteza Expert. So I'm just going to have a go at building up some colour. This is sunflower yellow, and actually this is a really good match for this colour. So let me just zoom you in before I go too much further. So we've got quite a good match for this colour, but it is just a little bit darker and it's going to help us to blend right in. But we do want to get a little bit more orangey. So that's where I'm going. I'm looking down the spectrum of colours that we've got here in Arteza. This one's called Tuscan Sun. Again, very, very similar, just maybe a hair darker. And then the next sort of orangey one down is this pumpkin orange. Now this should be quite bright and different. So I'm just building up a little bit of colour on the edge. Looking at our reference photo, it looks like quite a lot of the shade is down here, so that's just what I'm going to follow. So the Arteza pencils aren't really liking this paper. I can't remember which one we used them on. Was it number 16? I can't remember which one we used them on, but I think we had the same problem and I've forgotten about it. So I've brought them out again when really I should have probably thought of something a bit different, but we're here now. And maybe the texture will look like little bits of apricot floating in the jug. So you have to try and find a way, friends, to, you know, make it more positive of an experience when things go wrong. So that's what I would advise. So those are little bits of apricots floating around. I just want to see, this might be too similar. This one's just called Orange. I just want to see whether or not that will make much of a difference down here. I do need that initial colour again, which we used, which was Sunflower Yellow, just to blend any areas out and into the alcohol marker base. So when you're doing an alcohol marker base, you should always look for a colour of your pencil that you're going to put on top that is very similar to your alcohol base, because you will need that to blend into it. So we've got a couple of areas and instances here where it's not quite as flat as I would have liked it. But that's okay. I think we can probably afford to just have a little bit of this vermilion down here. Very, very, very small amount, very light pressure. can feel that the paper is starting to reject our layers, so I'll try not to go too much further with that, but that's quite a nice little orangey ombre blend anyway. Okay, so we need to think about this jug then, because really, if we were doing it realistically, we would see the background through the glass of the jug, just as you can see here on the reference photo. You can see the background of the stripy blanket that the jug is sitting on, and that, you know, warps with the glass and things like that. But you know, we're not really going for that hyper realistic look on this project. So really, I just want to make it look a little bit glassy, and for that I'm going to need a very light blue. I'm not sure whether we have that kind of colour that I need in the Arteza. This seems to be the lightest that I can find. It's Periwinkle, and I just need a bit of paper to test that on. Let's just test it on here. So I mean, I could probably make that work. It would be handy if it had something a bit lighter. Just looking through my markers. So we have this pale greyish blue, which actually might be quite good. That's the B220 of the Ohuhu markers. Ohuhu is really fun to say. B220. So just looking for it, bear with, there we go. And we're just going to try and make a little bit of a glassy look. I'm going to keep that pencil out though, the Periwinkle, in case we want to deepen it up anywhere. But let's create a bit of a glassy look on here, simply by adding in a bit of blue here and there, and then we'll use some white gel pen for highlights. So I'm not following any kind of rule or anything about where to put this, clearly, otherwise it'd look a lot better. But I'm just trying to give that look of it being glass. It's very, very difficult. I don't know whether or not we should go over this, I don't know. Wait till we get to the white gel pen areas and I might see what's happening. So this is that Periwinkle. Just going to use a little bit of that here and there. Do a little bit down there. Sorry for going quiet, I always do when I'm trying to concentrate. Okay, so really ideally what I could do is with a very, very light blue to go over all of that white. Now I don't think we have one in the Ohuhu, but I might have one in the Copic, because I do have some very, very light blues in the Copic. So let's just test what I have here. This is the B000 Pale Celestine. You can see, probably can't even see it, can you, how light that is, but it is more of a greenish, it's got a greenish tinge. I'm just wondering if I've got anything that's not as green but still really light. So I've got B000. Hang on, wait a second, that's been put in the wrong place. I'm sure my kids keep messing my markers up, you know, because they keep being put in the wrong places, and then I can't find what I'm looking for. So that's not the one I need. You know, I don't think I've got anything that could work. I'm just going to go for that quadruple zero Pale Celestine, just so that it's not pure white, you know. I don't want it to be pure white. That's worked. I think I was just being a bit nitpicky there with the shades of the colours. Okay, so what I need to do now is bring in the white gel pen, of course, to do a bit of highlight work on this. Now I don't really like the black around the juice, so I'm going to try and get rid of that and see what it looks like. I just want to make this look as juicy and as summery and happy as possible. Quite a counterpart to yesterday's. Something really bright and happy. So I'm going to add a little bit of white gel pen into the deepest parts of the blue where we put the periwinkle pencil, because that hopefully will help it look a bit more glassy as well. And just here and there little bits, very thin white, just to sort of emulate the look of it, having lots of different reflecting points. See this here, this part should really be darker in here because this is where the jug sort of goes in, so we're kind of having to create that look a little bit. I think we should also have some cute little dots in here, as if to show just a little bit of fizz. Maybe you've got a bit of sparkling water in there, something like that. Then we need our little slice of orange. So let me see, I'll just go back to the oranges. We've got this one simply called Orange, and for a slice of orange, I don't really need to have a look at a reference, but I just want to quickly see which bits are darker on orange. So obviously the rind of the orange is the darkest. I don't know why I needed to look that up, I could have just thought about it, but just want to be right. So then we have the sunflower yellow again. Just going to fill that in. And again with the white gel pen. I don't know why I've done that one all the way over there. See, the good thing about the white gel pen is that you can just scrape it off if you're not happy with the placement. So with this we will just do the centre bits of the orange. Maybe just a couple of little, you know, I can't help myself when it comes to the white gel pen. It's an addiction. Okay, and then the background, I suppose we could do with this periwinkle blue as the background, but fully saturated, you know, just to show that colour showing, would be showing through the glass. So let's do that. Let's just colour this in, completely block colour in, not doing any kind of fancy shading or anything like that, just completely block colour in. There we are. What's wrong with that? Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you for day 20.